Hello, as you can tell from the title of this video, I did lose Pauletta and also Patrina. So here I just have my little herd of 12. So Pauletta, just a little bit before Christmas, she started not eating. She didn't eat her vegetables one day. So, of course, but she was acting fine, other than she just wouldn't eat her vegetables. Well, that's a big telltale sign. When a piggy doesn't eat their vegetables, that usually means there's a problem. So I suspected gas because she was acting fine otherwise. So I gave her some gas drops, and she started eating a little bit better. She was eating hay. She would not come and eat vegetables on her own, so I was hand feeding her vegetables for a few days, and I was giving her critical care, which she was taking on her own, just out of, she's eating it out of a spoon, so she was doing really well, but her appetite still wasn't 100%. After a couple days, though, I realized, okay, if it was gas, it would have cleared up by now. And then she started taking a turn for the worse. So I started trying to see if I can get her in to see a vet. Then Christmas Eve, the 24th, she started taking a turn for the worse. And she completely stopped eating. So at that point, I had to take her into the vet. And towards the end of the day, right before her vet appointment, about 2 hours before her vet appointment, she started where she couldn't even swallow. And she was getting bloated, and so I suspect cancer. I don't know, but I took her in, and the vet agreed. At that point, I mean, she wasn't even able to swallow. She was really, she took a sharp turn. So they put her down, and so I tried my hardest, to save her, but also keeping in mind that she's a senior, and as a senior, I wasn't going to put her through too much, but anyway, so that happened on the 24th, and then yesterday morning, Patrina, didn't come to eat her vegetable. Well, no, actually, I take that back. She did come to eat her vegetables that morning, and she was acting fine. That morning, everything was normal. I work at home, so I check on them periodically, and she was fine. She was in the hay. Everything was going fine. And then when I got off work at 4:30, I gave them their pellets, and she did not come to eat the pellets. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe she just ate hay, a little while ago. Maybe she'll come, because a lot of times they don't come right away. Some of them don't come right away to eat the pellets. So, and I had to put the pellets out just like I have it here. So I thought, okay, I'll keep an eye on her. But she was still acting normal. She was walking around, and she even got feisty with one of the other piggies. And so I'm like, okay, she seems normal. She maybe just not hungry. Maybe she'll come and have some pellets later. So I'm going to keep an eye on her. So I did, and I had some things that I had to do, putzing around the house or whatever, but I kept checking. She's still not eating, I didn't see her eating the pellets. I didn't see her eating. So finally a couple hours went by, and I'm like, okay, let me get her, scoop her up and see what's going on. So I picked her up, and she was cold. Her ears were cold, and it was like 72 in here. So, I mean, it wasn't really that cold in here. 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So I thought, okay, that why is she so cold? So, and she was acting really restless. So I got the blow dryer, and I just put it on low and held it up high, and she immediately calmed down. I had her in a bed, like a little bed like this. I was holding her in the bed, and I just put the blow dryer on her and to warm her up a little bit, and she completely relaxed. And so she was cold, and she liked having that warmth on her. So I did that for a little while. And then she started getting restless again. So I picked her up out of the bed and she was going limp. And that's when I realized she's dying. She's dying on me. And so, of course, my first instinct is to call the vet. But she was just so limp, and so I put her in the pen. I put her right over here in this corner, and I knelt down next to her, and I just started petting her head. And I'm glad that I made that decision not to call the vet, but to just hold her and comfort her, because it was only within a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes at the most, that she was gone. She died. So I suspect cancer, maybe. I really don't know. But that morning she was fine. And by the afternoon she was gone. So you just, with piggies, you just don't know that they hide their illnesses really well. And sometimes, it seems like they take a turn for the worse, but you don't know. They could have been sick for days and they just hide it. And it's really hard. The only way that I know is by their weight, if they're losing weight, and if, how they're eating. And of course, how they're acting and interacting with each other. So, it's really important to watch them, because you just don't know. But Pauletta and Patrina were both senior pigs, and I've learned, because it's heartbreaking when you lose them. They just, as we all know, they just don't live long enough. But I have to take comfort in knowing that I did everything I could to make her life, their lives, the best that they could have. They're in this huge pen, and they have everything they need. So, so it's important to just every day cherish them and love them, and do your best to give them the best, because you don't know what day will be their last. I still have 2 seniors. Here's Perla is one of my seniors. Then the other senior is Paloma. I don't know where Paloma is right now. She was just right here. Let's see. Oh, Paloma's over there. I don't know if you can see. She's drinking water. So Paloma is the one that I was worried about a few months ago, because she was losing weight. She has lost a little bit more weight, not a whole lot, but she's she's getting bony, but she's doing really well. She's running around. She's eating good. I do give her critical care as a supplement. So those are my 2 seniors, and then the rest of my pigs are all 3 years or younger. Here's Paloma right here. There's Paloma. So my alarm's going off here. There's Paloma. Did you hear me call you? So those are my 2 seniors, and the rest of them are young. So, but I'm sorry it's been so long since I've been on video. I just had a lot going on. Life has kind of got crazy, and then I ended up getting sick twice. And so I'm between being sick and life and everything, it's just been really hectic. And I'm behind on their laundry. I got really behind on their laundry from being sick. I'm still behind and just barely keeping up. So I'm trying to get caught up with their laundry and, all the stuff that goes with the piggies. But everyone else for now seems to be doing really well. Here's see this little fatty here? That's little Pauletta. I got her she's just a year old, a little over a year. When I got her, she was just a tiny little baby. And there she is, little fatty. So I just wanted to get on and let you guys know what's going on with with the piggy pen, and the bunnies are doing really well. I'll make a video later this week on the bunnies, but they're doing really good. They're happy and they just love each other so much, and they're doing really good. But I just wanted to do a video and let you know what was going on with Pauletta and Patrina and the rest of the herd. And so I hope that you all are doing very well and that you have a good weekend. Thank you for tuning in to my channel, and I hope you have a great day. And goodbye.